These guys, my entire screen is red here on Banter Bubbles. I've even had to change the sign behind me. I've made it red. I went for lunch. I came back an hour later and I was getting pinged on my cell phone. I was hitting stop losses. Things got really messy there. BTC just sneezed for a second. And we actually thought we were out of the woods there earlier. We had quite a quiet weekend considering what was going on in the back there in the Middle East. We thought, okay, well, they're holding these altcoins and they're holding BTC and let's see how things are going to play out. But little did we know, here they come, bang, and they've come and they've taken us down, and we've hit a couple of stops on a lot of our altcoins. So what's next for us and what's our plan? So today I actually want to give you a rough market guide as to what's happening all over the place. We're looking at gold today. We're looking at oil. I'm looking at BTC, of course. We're looking at the S&P 500, and then I'm looking at a select hand-picked altcoins for you guys, just to show you some areas that you want to watch out for. And then I've got two stocks for you on the US markets that I want to take you through. One of them might be on the verge of a breakout, but now with the recent events, maybe not. So we're going to take a look at that now. So just looking at Banter Bubbles quickly, I mean, it's not looking good here. I mean, BTC sneezed 1.3%, and what do these alts do? Bang, 4%, 5%. It's all over the place. It's happening everywhere here. Solana 4%. It's on a nice area though. Curve lost some levels. RUNE's on an interesting support level, even after the latest FUD that they had for RUNE. It lost a nice trend there. So we're going to get stuck into a lot of these now. Let's just look at BTC quickly and just get an idea as to what exactly is going on here and how bad is it really, and should we be panicking? Well, the first thing I like to look at is I like to look at this 4-hour time frame on BTC, and just to get a picture as to what's happening. And you can see we haven't quite hit the main support area that I'm looking for here currently. So this area here, this 27,100, 27,200 region is looking very interesting to me for BTC. So, it's not out of the question that we can still see this little dip here today. Even in the next couple of hours, we could look for that. If we do lose more levels on BTC, I'm looking at this next section here. I've got a little 𝗓𝗓𝗓 order block coming up here, and I've got the 50-day MA coming up into this region. So call it 26,800, 26,900 is another reaction zone that I've got for BTC. And then a little bit lower, we've got the 618, but things are going to be very messy if we're going down there. So first things first on BTC, I'm just watching this current 382 fib region and trend with horizontal. I'm looking at 27,100 to 27,200, and then I want to see where the corresponding alts are sitting, where on their corresponding fibs and their levels. I want to see what they are holding when BTC hits those areas. So those of you that are new and those of you that don't know what you get from me, well, basically I trade a lot of altcoins. I love trading stocks, and I love trading gold, oil, those type of things as well. With regards to crypto and altcoins, I do 4-hour charts, 8-hour daily. I look for daily trades, maybe a trade per week. We can look for moves, 3-day moves, 1-day moves, that sort of thing on altcoins. Gold and stocks, I play on the daily, I play on the weekly time frame, that sort of thing. And I have the same principle. I look for high impact zones. I look for areas that are going to give us reactions. We're looking for even a 5% move, a 6% move on something. I can find those areas on these altcoins, and that's what I love hunting all day long. So that's why you'll see a lot of fibs from me. You'll see a lot of horizontals and that sort of thing. So let's now zoom out on BTC quickly and look at a bigger time frame here. This is the 3-day, and I'm basically calling this the panic line over here. So this is an area of interest for all of us. We don't really want to see BTC start losing that trend too much, because then things are going to get a little bit messy, in my opinion. So right now we are still in track. We are still in an uptrend with BTC. Things are still moving smoothly, and no reason to panic just yet. We're just going to watch our areas, and we're just going to watch that trend. One thing that is obviously a little bit of concern for all of us is this BTC dominance that has been pushing up non-stop, and that's resulting in a lot of this altcoin weakness we're seeing at the moment. This is the 200-week moving average here coming through on BTC dominance, and you can see we're having a little bit of a rejection here. So it would be nice to see this little move down, while maybe BTC does drop onto that fib level and we get a dominance drop. For example, these alts might hold okay, and then we might get a little bit of reversal on them. So we're going to keep our eyes on this dominance as well. If this dominance keeps pumping, well, we're going to see alts visiting new areas that we haven't seen in quite some time, and I'm going to mark them out for you guys. For those of you that are on the or not on the Crypto Banter hub, we have a Discord where we do a lot of these charts, and we drop these charts on the Banter Discord daily. So I update these levels, these areas, these reaction zones on 4 hour, 8 hour, every single day on the Crypto Banter. On the Crypto Banter hub, if you are a VIP, you have access to it. We also have an alarm system in place. So when we hit these areas and these key zones, you're going to get pinged with an alarm showing you that, hey, Solana's in a good zone, or CRV's in a good zone, and you're going to make your choices there as to how you want to play it. So get onto that Banter Discord, guys. VIPs have access. You just need a trading link, whether it's one of these in the description of mine, or a school link, or any Banter link you have. You'll have VIP access on that Banter hub. Right, let's look at the S&P. Markets are yet to open, so we're going to see we'll probably see some action in the next few minutes. But with regards to the S&P, things were looking really good last week. We dropped into this beautiful area that we've been tracking for days. In fact, we've been tracking this for weeks. This was the 200-day MA coming through here so beautifully. We had this lovely horizontal. We had this nice trend coming up here. So we knew this was going to be a very strong area for us. We also had a very oversold RSI over here. So riding into Friday, things were looking very bouncy for us. And, the general markets in general were looking quite rosy. So the events of this weekend have obviously now made us step back, and now we need to look at this and reassess what's going on. So as far as the S&P goes, up until Friday, I was saying, look, I'm targeting this gap up here at the 4,300 area to 4,400 level for an S&P bounce. So I was actually looking for this move up into the zone for potential short opportunity here with the 50-day MA and this gap getting closed, and then possibly sending it lower. So right now, this move might be off the table, considering that this 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓 is now pumping again, and the market's a little bit shaky. So what am I looking at now for the S&P? So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to look at this major support area, and we haven't gone deep into it yet. We've just sort of touched the surface here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get some kind of pullback to come and revisit this area one more time. If the wheels really do come off for this S&P though, guys, we are looking a lot lower here, and I've got an area at this 3,900 level that's looking quite spicy for me. This is the 200-week MA. You can see it plays its role with regards to the S&P. This is a 618 fib on quite a big pool. This is a pool from October 22. So I would say this is a fairly strong region to watch if we do lose this area. Obviously not necessarily in a straight line. We could very easily see something like that, and this trend would become resistance. This old support would become resistance, and we'd make our way down here for a possible reversal there. So that's my sort of bearish setup on the things currently. I think we need to just watch this market very cautiously and not bet too big either way right now, because the slightest news or any event now could really shake things up. Let's take a look at this 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕. So this was looking beautiful for us on Friday. We even had that the jobs news that the market hated, and the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 pumped. But it didn't print a new high, which was lovely, and it rejected so nicely, and that gave things like gold a nice push. It gave the S&P that nice push. It gave crypto that nice push. We saw BTC was running nicely last week. So this 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 now has pulled back onto a support area. So this is a key zone we're going to watch now. This is actually a strong bounce area, so we shouldn't be surprised if the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 does bounce off this area. Let's see how high it bounces, and let's see if we print new highs. If we reject up here, the panic might be over, and then we can start looking at this move lower, and that should unleash some crypto for us, and it should unleash the S&P a little bit more for us. But right now, this 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 looks like it wants to bounce potentially higher. I did highlight this 107 region here, 107.9 area that is of interest to me. But let's see if we get up there. We might get that double top, and we'll see where the other charts are at that time. Right, let's look at gold. Guys, for those of you that sit on the lives with me on Crypto Banter Plus, that's the other channel, guys. We do live session every day, 4:15, except not today, but 4:15 SA time. We are live trading. I've got other traders on there with me. We look at charts. We do all these things. Gold was one of our longs that we've been planning for absolute weeks, and it dropped down into this beautiful horizontal area over here. We had the 200-week pulling through so nicely, and we had this heavily oversold RSI, as well as the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 at resistance and turning a little bit south. So gold was lining up for a mega long there for us, and it played out beautifully. For those of you that did take this long, you can see we have already hit our TP. No surprises here. It's hit the 382 fib. You will see it's also hit this the 786 from this pool that we had previously. We had the 786 down here as well, acting as support. So this was a major area for us for gold. And you can see it's now rejected. So what it's done, it's pumped, it's done its thing. There was panic buying, it pushed up, it hit the 786, it hit a horizontal, beautiful rejection into TP, guys. So that trade is now done on gold. We're now gonna wait for our next move and our next play on gold. Let's see how it settles at the moment. But you know, right now, sentiment, if this saga continues now for the next 3 to 6 months, gold might actually be starting a new uptrend. So we're going to keep our eyes on gold, and obviously you want to be looking at things like gold miners. With regards to oil, which we're going to talk about now, you want to be looking at oil companies as well with the oil price pumping. So yeah, let's take a look at the current oil situation. So oil was looking very sad. This is WTI. This was US oil that we were looking at last week, and I was eyeing out this. It's quite a bearish pattern, guys. This head and shoulders. I was looking at something along these lines, and it looked like we were going to get it. Even on Friday, it was looking a little bit sad there. And you know, with this news this weekend, it's now pumped, and you know, all systems. Well, it's not all systems go. Now we need to try and get our heads around oil and where it's going to go to next. So right now, for the oil traders out there, we're just going to watch the support right now. You know, this gap, they might come back and fill this little gap here. So I want to watch this. I want to see this 82 region hold as support. Remember, guys, this is WTI crude. It's not Brent. Prices are similar. Charts are similar. This is the one I've been trading. So, you know, I want to see support here at 82. Let's see how we go. Right now, I'm expecting oil to carry on pushing up to the 93 region at least, especially if this stuff's going to continue now in the news for the next few months. I would say oil is on its way up. Right, guys, let's jump into some of these altcoins, because I'm sure some of you hit some stops. I certainly hit a couple of stops there. I wasn't expecting such a brutal move, especially when I'm just going for lunch. You know, I just wanted a quick little bite, and then I had ping 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 on my cell phone, and we hit some things there. So let's take a look at stuff like Render, for example. Render had a beautiful rejection. This is the Render 12-hour, guys. So we were trading this up in our live sessions. We highlighted the 618. We were looking for the rejection, and we got that little fake out over there, and a nice little sell-off. And look where it's bounced. It's perfectly sitting on this 382. Once again, the signs coming into play here, just bouncing beautifully on this 382 for now. So, I mean, is this the end of the move? I don't think so. So what we need to do now is figure out now where this downtrend is going to start. So we want to look and see where these alts start reversing. So if we get a push up, for example, to this 200-day MA and horizontal, then we can start banging in our trend. And we're going to look for something along these lines. So unless we start now breaking trends and things like that, I would say we are now looking at a bearish scenario, and we're looking at lower levels on some of these alts. So Render, for example, let's look for a rejection here at the 200-day MA. That's a good starting point. Support, again, guys, will be this 382 at 1.73. But I'm really starting to like the look of this area down here. This 1.6, this 1.655 region is looking interesting to me. And for those of you that trade trends, you can see why. You know, we look here, we'd look for a bounce over here, and then maybe that push up. And see how we go. If we lose these trends, guys, you know the story. We're going to lose these trends. We're going to push up. It's going to become resistance. Old support's going to become resistance for us. And then we're going to send these things down to lower levels. But for now, all eyes on Render. I'm watching this 200-day MA and horizontal for a possible rejection, 1.8. If we push on and we push on higher and we start reclaiming the 200-day support, you know, then we look at it differently. But right now, there was very bearish stuff happening today. BTC still hasn't settled down on a nice area. It's still kind of hovering around. So we need to just act with caution here with these altcoins. Here is RUNE for you guys. RUNE was such a lovely trade for us over the last couple of weeks. It really did well. And then some FUD started drifting into the markets. There was some bad news about RUNE, some of the fundamental issues that were happening. And immediately, what did we see? We saw this loss of trend here. We saw this retest up here, and now it's drifting down, and now it's sitting in a nice support area currently. Things are looking bearish, though, because we've lost this major trend. So now what are we looking for? any moves up, guys, we're looking at possible bear country stuff where we can look for shorts in areas like this. So I would say RUNE, if we get a push up anywhere at about 1.8 for RUNE, the bears are probably going to want to step in here and look for a short opportunity. Obviously, guys, subject to a lot of news. We're watching the US market as well. We're watching this 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓. So, you know, a lot is uncertain right now. But what I can see in front of me is a potential bounce that could open up some bear country vibes here for us, and we could get a short in there. So what I would do is I would target this area down here at 1.44, give or take, for RUNE if we do get that opportunity. So look for that push up. Let's look at short opportunities here at this old support region, which will be resistance, and then we're going to want to take it down lower. So that's my game plan there for RUNE. Then I have something like LINK. Also, it was front running this whole market pump over the last couple of weeks. It was absolutely beautiful. Those that traded LINK really did well. I tried a short LINK at one point. I was a little bit early. I know some of the research guys did get that short ahead of me, and I think they're probably still holding it now. I cut my short on LINK, but it did eventually reverse. Where are we now? Well, we're sitting at horizontal, and we're sitting at a 382 region next to trend. So this is the first sort of bouncy area that is of interest to me. Again, we're going to keep our eyes on this whole macro situation now. We're going to watch BTC and the dominance. But as far as LINK goes, this is position number 1 now. This is the first potential bounce zone after that sell-off. If we do start losing levels on LINK, guys, I've got a mega area here for you. This is the 50-day MA. This is the 200-day MA. This is a 618 fib. This is horizontals. This stuff is what dreams are made of. We get such good bounces here off these type of areas. So if we do lose this area, I'm definitely looking for longs down here at 6.7 for LINK. I want to catch that move up, and maybe then we'll get the TP there in a potential short zone for us. So right now, eyes on LINK. This is bounce zone number 1. If things are okay out there, especially in the US markets, and things are stabilizing, then we should get some kind of reaction here for LINK. If not, guys, you know where we're going. We're coming down here, 6.7, and then we can start looking at downtrends and things like that, and we can chase these trends lower down exactly like that. Well, that's the plan. Okay, then, guys, GALA, we know GALA pumped. There was some news on GALA. There was some very bad FUD on GALA. They were fudding it all the way to zero, basically. I think the partners were fighting, all sorts of things going on there with GALA. It was absolute mess. But then there was some news in the Philippines or something, and then they were sending GALA. There was possibly a squeeze, and some of us managed to get the short. We discussed the short on the live sessions that we had. And some of our traders, they got that GALA short, which was beautiful. And, you know, we shorted it down to these bounce areas, and you can see how these areas react. And this is what I'm talking about on LINK. Here's a 618 GALA. Look at this beautiful bounce we had. And they came back down again. So we were looking for these bounce areas, looking for 3%, 4%, 5% moves. And now we have dipped lower. So what am I watching for GALA? Well, this is basically the last level before GALA literally is going to go to zero, in my opinion. I mean, look at this thing. When it was listed on Binance. This was a very, very long time ago. This is the weekly, guys, on GALA. So things aren't looking good for GALA if it doesn't hold this area. So those of you that want to play a bounce, if we do get a move lower, you might get a nice reaction in this region. So something to look forward to. Maybe you might get a little bounce up there, and then you can always pull in this trend again. And if we start breaking trends and things, then we can turn bullish again. But right now, you know, I would say look for a little bounce here, see what happens at this trend region. If we get the break and retest and things like that, then it's a different game. But right now, bounce zone for me, GALA 0.013 is an area of interest for me. Solana fans, banging into our first area of interest, just like you saw with LINK. So we had that sell-off there with BTC. You know, when we get BTC dumping like this and these alts sitting on these levels, and they drop to their levels that we think they're never going to get there, and BTC sneezes, and here we are. So here's our first opportunity for SOL, horizontal support region. That's interesting. We got horizontal, we got 382. It is very far from this trend, but we have been tracking this flag for quite some time. So it wouldn't be surprising to see some kind of move up to the flag top here. Potential rejection in that area could be bear country for us. So if Solana does bounce in this area, let's not assume that this is now to the moon Solana vibe. We're looking to exit. We're looking for shorts. we're looking for things like that. So let's see if Solana does bounce. We're looking at 23.2, that sort of region. We're looking for potential shorts there. If we do lose this area, what areas am I watching? Well, I'm watching this 200-day MA, because we know these altcoins love this 200-day MA. And we're watching this 50-day MA and the 618 lower down. Look at this juicy zone here. I know some of the guys that sit on the lives with me are going to be licking their lips down here. If we get Solana at 20 in the next couple of days, I think that'll be an absolute banger. So let's keep our eyes on Solana here at 20.2. I see Beth's in the house. I see a lot of the guys are here. Simon's here. I see there's questions here. Lido. Yes, guys, what's happening? Yeah, it's what an honor to be here on the main stage. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Those that are new, we do this every day. We're on Banter Plus. There's another channel, guys, Crypto Banter Plus. We trade 𝗕𝗏𝗧 South Africa time. We have a whole group of traders. I've got a ByBit winner trading there with me. I've got an indicator expert. I've got Bruce, he's the Tomo man. He's on there with us every single day, guys. So we do this type of thing all day long. We hunt setups. We look for great moves on these altcoins just for you guys. Let's take a look at Injective. Injective, similar look to it, to a lot of these altcoins. It's just slowly bleeding down. I'm watching this 382 for our first reaction area. So we've seen Sols in that area. We've seen Linkers in that area. We might even have AVAX in that area. I've got AVAX. I'll show you that now. Injective looks like it wants to come down next. We want to see it down here. We want to see what type of reaction we get in this region. And that's a 7.3, 7.4 for Injective. Could be a nice bounce area here, guys. Next region, 50-day MA, 200-day MA. Love this area where there's a little bit of horizontal stuff here, so we could get a reaction here. So that type of setup on Injective is going to give us that little bounce and retest that we might want to be looking for. So if we do get this move lower, look for that. And then that move into the 618 area at 7. So if things remain bearish, I'm loving this the 7 region for Injective. So look out for a loss of trend, a retest, old support, resistance, and we push it down there. Guys, keep the comments coming through. I got a couple of US stocks for you as well. Right, guys, let's deal with AVAX quickly. AVAX, I mean, this was just beautiful. We looked at this one. We got this short using 𝗏𝗏𝗏, guys. We called this one on the live session on Friday. This was an area we were hunting, guys. My traders out there, let us know in the chats who got this AVAX short. I got it. I didn't hold it all this way. I TP'd very early there, guys. But this was just absolutely beautiful. We had AVAX pumping really for no real reason into this massive 𝗏𝗏𝗏 order block that we were talking about. And we got that fake out through the area, and we got that rejection, and we climbed in somewhere in this region. I think it was here. It was about, where was it, guys? It was 11.4. I think we got that short. And it just pulled down so beautifully there for us. So AVAX, massive sell-off. I'm sure a lot of people got rinsed there that were long at the top. We are now looking at bounce zones for AVAX. This is where we want to be right now. This is the same sort of bounce area that we're seeing on things like Link. We're seeing it on Sol. We're seeing it on some of these other tokens that I've shown you. We are now sitting on support. So now we're waiting for BTC to tell us what to do. You know, if BTC wants to pull us lower, and dominance wants to go up, well, these alts are now going to lose trend and they're going to look at new areas. So what am I looking at for AVAX? Well, AVAX, this is bounce zone A, bounce zone number 1. Then, guys, we've got these order blocks lower down that we need to look out for. And remember, if we lose these trends, any bounces we get, it looks like it's going to turn into some kind of bearish scenario. So if we don't get this move up here immediately, we're looking at a loss of trend and we're pushing up, and then the bears are going to step in here. So guys, this is a big area for me for AVAX, 9.7, this region. Right now, we want to hold this as support. You can see this 50-day MA is coming in hot here, trying to hold this up for us as well. So eyes on this area for AVAX. Let's see if it holds now with this US market opening. If we lose that, guys, order blocks down here, 9.2, and we're looking at these lows at 8.7. Right, guys. We can do stacks of these altcoins, but they're all on the Banter Hub, the Banter Hub of these charts that I'm doing for you every day. They're all there. So you can go and reference these. A lot of these charts you've seen are on there. There's probably 20 or 30 others there that you can get into and use those charts to help you with your trading and your setups. I did promise you 2 US stocks that I'm looking at just out of interest, and I wanted to see, one of them's potentially going to break out here. And the other one is just a level of interest for pullbacks that I was looking at. And the first one was Apple. And I had this tweet here from I'm Not the Wolf. He's saying Tim Cook, he sold 13% of his Apple shares. So, that's a little bit of FUD for Apple. I would assume we also had that Chinese FUD for Apple, which really drove that price down. So I've been tracking this Apple chart for the last couple of weeks. And, just to try and make sense as to what's going on here with Apple and some of that bearish news and where's it going to bounce? If things turn over now, where's support? Where's the next play coming for Apple? So right now you can see we had this beautiful trend down here tracking perfectly. We had the 200-day MA, and what did Apple do? It just broke out. This is the Apple Weekly, by the way. It just broke out. It came back, it retested, and all things being equal, last week we were looking quite bullish on the S&P without the drama this weekend. So things were looking like we were going to get this mega move up now. So this is a major support here for Apple, this 168 level, 169, but you can see it is in a little bit of a downtrend here. So we need to keep our eyes on this trend coming down here for Apple. We might easily have a situation where it starts leading us down into this next major area down there if things turn bearish. So that's the 151, 152 level. That's quite a bearish take on Apple. Right now, the bulls, you want to watch this area as support, this 168 region. You're looking for this move up. You want to break this trend and you want to keep cracking on there for the bulls. Well, the bears, you know what you're going to do there. You want to short anything into resistance. So you'll look for resistance zones there to look for your shorts. But I would say keep your eyes on this trend at around 180 for Apple. Let's see what happens when it gets up there. Right, guys, I've got Facebook. This has been looking very interesting. This is the weekly chart. It looks like it's teeing up for a potential move here. Very interesting look. I mean, there's even a little bit of this going on, a bit of a cup and handle situation. We are pushing into resistance though. We've got 786 fib. We've got a trend as well that we need to watch. So a bullish type of setup that I'm looking at for Meta here, which is Facebook, is a push up into resistance, rejection over here, find some support in this region around about 320, and then we can maybe load up and send it through there. So that's my bull case here for Meta. And you can see even on the daily, it looks like it might be breaking. Let's zoom in a little bit here. You can see this is quite a bullish looking chart. We can see a little classic trend break here on Facebook. So things are looking interesting here, and the market seems to have opened, and we seem to be all right for now. So yeah, we're going to keep our eyes on this, guys. So big picture for Meta, I'm looking at a potential blowout here or breakout. Target is 350 initially, possible rejection. Then we can load up again 316, and then let's see where it goes. If things turn bearish though, we're watching this major support 271. 272, and then lower down 233. So that's if things turn very ugly though. But right now, yeah, my eyes are on Apple. My eyes are on Meta. I'm watching this closely. Okay, guys, and then what else? Yeah, I'm watching gold, eyes on gold for the next couple of weeks. We have to see this thing. There might be a lot of trades brewing. Guys, remember the crypto guys out there, you want to trade gold, you want to trade oil. How do you do it? Well, you get PrimeXBT. And you send your crypto to PrimeXBT, and you can trade these things over there. You can also trade the S&P and that sort of stuff. So there is a link in the description. If you want PrimeXBT, it takes crypto. Knock yourselves out, guys, and trade this stuff with me. The leverage is pretty hectic on there, so you need to play safe. Just manage your risk, and you should be good. Guys, that's pretty much everything from me for today. Just a last look at this Banter Bubbles. Well, it's red now. It's not always going to be red, guys. We are going to get a bounce at some point, so it's not all doom and gloom. But thanks for hanging out with me. Hopefully, you guys got something out of this, and join us Crypto Banter Plus every single day, except today. I'm not there today, but tomorrow we're there. We're trading, live trading. We're doing hour and a half sessions every day. We'll see you there, guys, and thanks for joining me here. Catch you guys later.